welcome back to another video. It's a nice beautiful day and I had to get out and go ride since I've been locked in the room for a week. I'm all alone today. I texted my friends, but no one texted back, so I'm pretty sure they were up all night playing video games. So yeah, me and my girl were locked in our room for a week. We ended up testing positive for fucking the coronavirus. And so her family took care of us, and I appreciate everything they did for us. We recovered from it pretty fast. I was gonna go out and ride and still record, but they told me no. And I was kind of upset about it. I was like, well, I'm gonna be by myself. I don't know why I can't go ride, but I understand. And I'm pretty sure if I was going to be hard-headed like I usually am, I probably wouldn't be doing too hot right now. So to my in-laws, I appreciate everything you did for us, keeping us healthy. It was boring, dude, sitting in my room. Like, I like playing video games, but I had all the time in the world to play video games. And I got to the point where I was like, I didn't want to play video games. I was just playing video games to pass the time. So as soon as they were like, alright, you're good to go, I was like, alright, I'm going out, I'm taking the bike. I still have the whole rest of the week off for work. I don't go back to work until Friday. I'm kind of like, I don't want to go back to work because it's work, but I'm excited to go back to work because, you know, I get out of the house. Of course, I'm gonna get stuck behind a fucking RV. So what are we gonna talk about today? In the last video, I gave you guys the option of middle school stories or stories of growing up with my dad. So I guess we'll just mix it up. We'll do a little bit of both. So I went to middle school in Tucson. I went to a magnet school. That's what they call it. Magnet. It's when the schools focus on a special topic. And I chose Safford Middle School, which focused on science and technology and stuff like engineering, technology, and stuff like that. So besides doing like the typical math, history, science, stuff like that, also did classes that had to do like with designing blueprints to build like a house or apartment complexes and stuff like that. We had a Lego class. We had a class where we focused on like clay animations, like making movies out of clay. So some interesting stories that involve middle school and my dad. You saw this kid, he used to always mess with me. And in middle school, I used to like always keep my headphones in on the bus, just so people would leave me alone. But I don't remember if it was like, it was a day I didn't have my headphones, or he like, I think he pulled the headphones out of my ear, but he would mess with me constantly. And my dad always had this rule, the rule of 3. Warning 1, I tell you, hey, you're bugging me. Warning 2, hey, you're bugging me. You get one more warning, and then warning 3 would be like, hey man, you're fucking pissing me off, and if you don't fuck off, I'm gonna hurt you. So this kid would mess with me constantly, over and over. And one day I must have been having a bad day. I don't know. But I finally snapped. And I was like, alright dude, it's been months and you just keep fucking with me. So this is your next warning. If you fuck with me again, I'm breaking your jaw. We go to class, like halfway through the class period, the teacher comes over and she's like, I need you to go to the counselor. And at my school, for some reason, they did like each grade had a different like principal. So I get over there, it's the counselor and the principal, and they're like, what's going on? So I told them. And then they called my parents, and because I was pissed. And my parents show up. and my dad shows up in his military uniform. So my dad like looks at me and he goes, "How long's this been going on for?" I was like, "It's been going on for a few months." I was like, "I did the 3 warning rule." I was like, "The 3 warnings have happened over a period of like 6 months." Now my dad's fighting with the school. They're starting to argue back and forth. And so finally my dad just looks at me and he goes, he's like, when's the next time you see this kid? And I was like, "We take the bus together." And he was like, "All right, next time you eliminate the threat." And I was like, "All right, cool. I got permission from Dad, so whatever." And the school's like, "Well, we can't have this happen. Like, you can't tell your son to eliminate the threat and blah, blah, blah." And shit like that. And as they're talking, the security guard, I don't know if my dad said something or I don't know, but the security guard goes to like touch my dad's shoulder or do something, and I just hear my dad go, "And if you touch me, I'm breaking your hand." And it was just one of those moments where I was just like, "Fuck, dude!" Like, and like you could tell, like the principal and the security guard and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" After that, they would never call my dad. If I got in trouble, like they had my mom's cell phone number on speed dial. And they were like, "All right, cool, you're not allowed to go to the skate park for fucking," I think it was like 3 months. Wow, I kind of assumed that it was going to take me longer to get to Ojai. I'm very disappointed. And it's hot as balls up here, dude. I'm sweating like a motherfucker in my helmet.
One eternity later.
I'm waiting for my dad to get old Purple out of the cabin and ready to go, because he keeps talking shit and he wants to race. Is that back to a fucking plane? Man, just a few fucking years ago, I used to live out here, and I would have to drive all the way into town just to go hang out or see my girl, dude. It sucked. Let's go see if the cross is open, since I'm already on this side of the town. I mentioned in my last video that I was gonna have my girl help me record an intro, but you know, like I said earlier, we kind of got sick. So maybe Thursday or Wednesday, I'll have her go with me and go work on an intro. We'll see. Usually there's like a bar or like a fence or some shit up here. And usually when I've been, the last couple times I've been here, it's been closed. Oh shit, it's open. I guess it's time to go home. Go! Ah! I missed my gear. That was cool. They blocked your ass in. Man, that guy like with the Corvette drives like a bitch. You got that Corvette because you have a shitty personality. That's the only reason why you would get a Corvette. That moment where you like a song, but I have no idea what the fuck he's saying because I don't speak Spanish. Note to self, don't go on long rides after being sick, because now your back be killing, and my ass hurts.